My name is Nihit Zahir, and um, in this presentation, I'll be talking about the Code of Hammurabi um, for our Making Connections presentation. The Code of Hammurabi is one of the most significant pieces of art and history from ancient Mesopotamia. It was created in 754 BCE during the first dynasty of Babylon under the reign of King Hammurabi. This work isn't just a set of laws, it's a monument that represents the power, order, and values of one of the world's earliest civilizations. What's so fascinating about this piece is how it connects law, religion, and art all into one. It gives us a glimpse into how the Babylonians understood justice and authority, and even though it's thousands of years old, it still shapes how we think about fairness and law today. The Code of Hammurabi was created by King Hammurabi, who was a former king of um, the first dynasty of Babylon, and it was created around 755 to 50 BCE. And the Code of Hammurabi is a tall black stone stele about 7 feet and 4 inches high um, and 2 feet wide. It's made of diorite, a very hard and durable stone, which shows how important it was meant to be. It was designed to last forever. And um, the medium is basalt, and it was created in the first dynasty of Babylon. At the top, there's a carved relief showing King Hammurabi standing before Shamash, the Babylonian sun god and god of justice. Right here, you can see them. And um, Shamash is handing him a rod and ring, which symbolizes the authority to rule and deliver justice. Below this image are 282 laws written in cuneiform script. These laws cover all kinds of topics: property, family, trade, and punishment, and they're carved in a way that makes them visible to anyone who approaches this monument. This wasn't just a work in this isn't wasn't this wasn't just an artwork to look at, it was a public declaration of how society was supposed to function. Like right here are the 282 laws for the Mesopotamians and the Babylonians to follow, and up here is Shamash and Hammurabi. The cultural context, also, this image is from Wikipedia. The cultural context of this work comes from the first dynasty of Babylon, which was a time when Mesopotamia was growing into one of the world's first great empires. Babylonian art and culture focused heavily on power, religion, and order. Art wasn't just decorative, it communicated authority and divine will. The Code of Hammurabi shows this clearly. It connects government and religion by showing the king receiving his power directly from a god. This shows that that's how rulers justified their authority at the time. In Babylonian culture, the idea of divine justice was very important, and people believed that obeying laws kept them in balance with the gods. This deal also reflects how society was structured around hierarchy. The punishment and the laws often depended on a person's social class, which reveals how inequality was built into their system. So when we study this artwork, we aren't just seeing early law, we're seeing how religion, politics, and art were all blended together in ancient Babylonian life. And as you can tell, it represents the importance of the king's authority and law and structure in Babylonian society. And the contemporary significance. Even though the Code of Hammurabi is nearly 4,000 years old, it still influences how we think about law and justice today. Many of the basic ideas, like the belief that actions should have consequences, continue to shape modern legal systems. The famous phrase, an eye for an eye, comes from this code, showing that ideas of fairness and proportional punishment have been debated since ancient times. Beyond law, this monument also represents the beginning of public accountability. The idea that laws should be written down and accessible to everyone. In a way, it's one of the earliest examples of government transparency. Today, the code reminds us of how far we've come and how much we still struggle with fairness, equality, and justice. It makes me think about how modern laws are still influenced by social status and privilege, just like in Hammurabi's time. It also it's also a reminder that the written word, whether carved in stone or typed on a screen, continues to shape how societies function. And the Code of Hammurabi directly affected legal systems and contemporary justice and social order, and it reflects like the human needs for fairness, rules, and accountability, and it shows how societies, even in early times, they continue to value hierarchy and responsibility while respecting or while protecting the weak at the same time. These are my works cited. A book by Martha Roth, Collections from Mesopotamia and Asia, The Code of Hammurabi by L.W. King, Code of Hammurabi by Britannica, Babylonian Law and Society by Mark Vandermeerup, um, Code of Hammurabi Laws and Facts from History.com. Thank you guys for listening to my presentation.